And welcome back to Richard Bell Field. You're watching the high school baseball game of the week and listening to WYXC AM 1270. We welcome back all of our radio listeners from the break and all of our television viewers as we move to game number 2 of this best-of-3 series. Of course, it is now winner-take-all for the Canes. If they can knock this one out, they are back in the state quarterfinals for Oconee County. They'll be trying to push game 3 tomorrow with a victory here. The Canes, of course, will be the visiting team. First pitch hit deep to center field. It's going back toward the fence and at the wall. Camping underneath that one out in center field will be Sam Porterfield, and he tucks it away. It's 1 up, 1 down here for the Canes in the top half of the first inning. And taking a look at the 2-hitter for the Canes, that will be Lyle Allen. Allen steps in.
Now batting your pitcher, number 11, Lyle Allen.
Hitting from the left side of the box. Again, pitching will be Chip Pledger as he gets the call on the hill. First pitch hit right back to Pledger. He stabs at it and throws on to first. It goes 1-3, so it's 2 up, 2 down for the Canes here in the top half of the first inning, and that brings Tyler Gilreath to the plate. Gilreath will hit from the left side of the box. Pledger got some work against Gainesville as he finished off the Red Elephants after they had yielded the go-ahead run 5-4. He closed the door on the Elephants and actually kept the team alive and set up the come-from-behind victory against Gainesville on Saturday in the third and deciding game. Again, Gilreath steps in, the 1-0 pitch on the way. That ball swung on and popped up in the infield. Camping underneath that one and going back for it is the shortstop, John Duke, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Canes here in the top of the first. We move to the bottom half of the inning. No score here from Richard Bell Field in game number 2 of this best-of-3 series. We'll be right back after this.
U.S. Industrial Supply Company, a world of nuts and bolts, specializing in cutting tools such as Champion, Stelram, and Balax, and pneumatic fittings, such as Legree and Creuset. Call us for your cutting tools, fasteners, and pneumatic fitting needs at 770-382-6100 or 1-800-334-2755, located in Cartersville, Georgia.
And welcome back. You're listening to WYXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. I'm Scott Singer along with Kyle Tucker as we come to Game 2 of this best-of-3 series. On the hill for the Hurricanes here in Game number 2 will be Lyle Allen. That is the only defensive change. He comes from center field. Benji Farr goes to center field, and so the rest of the defense is set. Taylor Hightower behind the plate, Will Davis at first, Cody Nix at second, Scotty Morrison at short, Tyler Gilreath at third, Donovan Tate in left field, Benji Farr in center, and Parker Rutledge out in right field. Oconee County turned in the lineup just as the game was starting, so we hope I have all the changes here. It looks like Chase Stevens will lead off, Nick Stevens will go second, Dale Feldman DHing again will hit in the 3 spot, Carl Tora will hit in the 4 spot, Kelson Looney will hit 5th. It looks like John Duke will hit in the 6th spot, Russ Smith will hit 7th, the pitcher Chip Pledger will hit in the 8th spot, and in the 9th spot will be Sam Porterfield. So I think that is the lineup offensively for Oconee County, but there may be a change in there. Again, I was glancing at it as it just came through the fence right before the first pitch was thrown. So leading things off will be Chase Stevens. First pitch misses low, 1-0 to Stevens. Again, Oconee County playing to extend their season, and for Cartersville, they're looking to close the door and advance into the state quarterfinals. That ball misses low, make it 2-0.
Tell you, that was a quick start between games. That got going early on me, Scott. Sorry it's late. I just, didn't know what kind of celebrity you were. All these people were stopping me, asking me, "Do you know Scott Singer?" God.
Yeah.
I was going to sign an autograph for you.
3-0.
Man.
Chase Stevens now steps in. That one misses low, and he walks him. So the leadoff man is aboard.
But in all seriousness, Cartersville, you win the first game by 10 runs. Obviously, you're happy with that every time you get a 10-run win, but in a 3-game series like this, and you play a doubleheader like you do in these high school playoff series, you worry about a team coming back. The team that won in the second game, you think, oh, well, it's going to be easy, and maybe you lose that edge a little bit, and the Hurricanes kind of went quietly in the first, and now Lyle Allen's thrown 5 straight balls to open up the game here, so you kind of wonder if Cartersville, might not be concentrating as much as they were in that first game.
Stretching the pitch. That one misses low. They throw on back down the line at first, and the runner is safe. So 6 consecutive balls to start the game for Lyle Allen. And Allen heads back up on the hill. Again, Nick Stevens steps in the box. The pitch. That one in there for a called strike. Make it now 2-1 to Stevens. Stevens hit the game-winning home run. We showed it to you earlier against Gainesville. Time they come around on the bunt. Strike two. He offered at it, but it was right down the pipe. 2-2 the count. Allen back up on the hill. The left-hander gets the sign from Taylor Hightower. Checks his runner at first. And now delivers. Swung on, that ball hitting the infield and gets by for a base hit. Morris can't get it, and runners aboard on first and second after a walk and a hit.
Just served through the left side that time by Stevens. And Oconee County is in business here with 2-1 and no outs, looking to take their first lead of the series.
So that will bring a little conference as Hightower comes from behind the plate to talk things over with Lyle Allen. Another thing that makes it hard is Allen was a field player in the first game. You know, it's a lot different than a normal start where he would be thinking about, you know, pitching all day. He's got to think about playing in the field first, and then so it's just a little different when you don't bring in somebody from the bench. Oconee actually has that same advantage.
Right.
They have the advantage in that one. They're bringing somebody off the bench here in game two. That pitch misses inside, 1-0. We have a score from around the county. In game one of their best-of-3 series, it was Marist 13, Woodland 1. The pitch. That one outside. They throw on down the line at second, and the runner is safe. 2-0. So Allen struggling early here in this game two. Lyle back up on the hill, and Feldman steps in. The pitch. That one in the dirt. Make it now 3-0.
This is an important pitch, or really an important sequence here, even though we're only in the bottom of the first. Oconee County trying to get some kind of momentum going as a strike is fired by Allen. Feldman takes it all the way, 3-1. But important for Oconee County to score here and make themselves believe they can win and play with the Hurricanes. They took one on the chin in game one, but it is a 3-game series, so you have to win 2 games. It doesn't matter when you win them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you run rule a team because a win is a win. It doesn't matter if it's a 1 run or 20 runs. It doesn't make a difference. The pitch. That one in the dirt, and he walks him. So the bases are now loaded after 2 walks and a hit, and nobody out here to get things going. So not the start the Hurricanes wanted. And now Carl Delatorre will come to the plate. And Coach Chester comes out of the dugout to talk things over with his starting pitcher.
Inauspicious start for Allen. Not what you usually see out of him. You know, guy, big-time competitor. I've seen that as a quarterback of the football team. And he's played in some big baseball games, too. You know, one moment that sticks out in my mind, Scott, was that state championship series down at LaGrange. I guess he was a freshman. That game 2, Cartersville was leading the game 2-1, and there was a base hit to Lyle out in right field, and the tying run's coming around third, and he throws a 1-hop strike to the plate and nailed the runner, and that ended the game. And big-time play out of a freshman. So he's been in big spots, and this is no different, just not the kind of start you're accustomed to.
Bases loaded, and nobody out here, and that brings Delatorre to the plate, hitting in the 4 spot. Again, the stretch in the pitch. That one in the dirt, a 1-0.
Just hasn't quite found his release point so far. Seems like every pitch is missed in the same spot. They've been low. Might be a little bit of adrenaline right now. Might be overthrowing just a tad.
The pitch, that one misses outside. Make it 2-0. Again,
tell you what, that's a lonely feeling right there, Scott. You're out on the mound and you're not throwing strikes. You want to let your defense work behind you, and I guarantee you, no one wants to throw a strike more than Lyle Allen does.
That ball gets away, and a run will come home. So a wild pitch scores a run, and just like that, Oconee County has grabbed the game's first lead. It's 1-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning of game number 2. Again, Cartersville becomes the visiting team in game 2, and Oconee becomes the home team. Now, if it was to go a game 3 tomorrow, they would flip for that position. So Allen back up on the hill. The count 3-0 to Delatorre. That one in there for a called strike, make it 3-1. For Allen, he'll just be trying to get a run. Get an out, rather. The pitch. That one in the dirt. And the ball gets away. Another run will come home. That makes it 2-0. And Oconee County has grabbed the lead here in game number 2.
Well, if you're Coach Chester and that Cartersville coaching staff, now you got to think, are we just going to let Lyle work through this, or do we think about getting another guy up? Because you don't want to get this lead too far out of hand. You're already down 2-0. There's runners on the corners and still no one out.
Now batting number
You've walked
15,
three of the first three hitters.
So that brings Kelson Looney to the plate. First pitch in there for a called strike, 0-1. So Looney steps in. The pitch swung on, and that ball popped up into center field on the run and falls right in front of Benji Farr, and another run will come home. That makes it 3-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning. So Oconee County grabbing a huge lead right now.
Well, when that ball was initially hit, I thought it'd be no problem for someone to catch that ball, but much like the ball the Hurricanes hit in the first game, there's a great look on your replay. I mean, that's just kind of that Bermuda Triangle between the center fielder, shortstop, and second baseman. No one could get to it, perfectly placed. It's the first hit of the game for Oconee County, the first RBI they have as a team, but they lead it 3-0.
The pitch, that one in there for a called strike, 0-1. So now stepping to the plate is John Duke, the shortstop. So Duke steps in. The pitch, that one misses outside, 1-1. So Duke will step back in. A 1-1 the count. Back up on the hill. The pitch, that one he bunts it down, and it'll go 1-2 now.
Oconee County coaching staff was upset with Duke on that because Duke, right now, you're up 3-0. You got runners on first and second. He's up there sacrificing. He's not trying to bunt for a hit. You're trying to get two more runners in the scoring position. And he didn't square around to the last second trying to lay it down third baseline.
1-2 pitch. That one misses outside, make it 2-2. So Oconee County with new life here as they start game 2 with 3 runs. Lead at 3-0 here, bottom half of the first inning. And Duke steps back in. The pitch swung on, and that ball fouled back to the stop. It remains 2-2. And again, Allen back up on the hill. Allen again gets the sign and delivers. Swung on, and that ball popped up. And coming back for it is Scotty Morris. He'll camp underneath that one and stick it in his pocket. First out of the inning.
That's an all-important out for the Hurricanes. Oconee County didn't look like the Canes were going to be able to retire anybody to start this game.
So Chip Pledger now steps in with an opportunity to help his own cause.
Now batting number 14, Chip Pledger.
So Pledger will step in. And Russ Smith moves to the on-deck circle. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1. So we did have him reversed a little bit. Again, we got the lineup. I mean, I'm not kidding you, about 30 seconds before the tape was just starting to roll when the lineup came through the window. That one fouls down the third base line. 0-2 now to Pledger. This is the first at bat for Pledger here today. Not hitting game 1.
Well, it's tough of a start this has been for Cartersville. Still a chance to get out of this with not a whole ton of damage done.
The pitch, that one outside. 1-2 now.
If you can get out of this, Scott, only down 3-0, you got to feel like with 6 innings to play, you're right there in the ball game. You just want to keep Oconee County from making this a 6 or 7 run inning.
That pitch in there for called strike 3, and he gets him looking. So Pledger goes down on strikes, and that will bring Russ Smith to the plate.
Big strikeout for Lyle Allen. Maybe that'll get him in a groove. Still only 1 hit in the inning. Well, there have been 3 runs. 2 wild pitches have aided in that. And the 1 hit was not a scorcher, but as they say, it's a line drive in the book. First pitch to Smith misses high and away. It's 1-0.
So Smith steps back in, 1-0 the count. A runner in scoring position, another on first. 2 down here, bottom of the first inning. Oconee leads at 3-0 here in game 2 of this best-of-3 series. The Canes hold a 1-0 advantage in the series. And that one outside as well, 2-0. So stepping back in is Russ Smith. Again, Allen back up on the hill. The left-hander again checks his runner, throws on back to the bag at second, and the runner will stay put right there. 2-0 the count. Looking back across the season, the Hurricanes have trailed this year lots of times. The pitch swung on, and that ball fouled back to the stop, make it 2-1. They trailed against Brookwood. They trailed against South Gwinnett. They trailed against Kell. Came back to win all of those games. The stretch in the pitch. That one misses outside. Kell was up 6-0. Canes came back to beat them 9-6. 3-1 the count. Allen back up on the hill. Left-hander checks his runner at second and delivers. Swung on and missed, and now they throw on down the line at second, and the runner is safe there, make it a full count. Canes also trailed against Gordon Central 1-0. Trailed against Cherokee 1-0 at one point. Never trailed in region, I don't believe. But so they have come back in games this year. Allen came off the hill that time, looking towards second, and no play as he heads back up. The runner went quickly back to the bag.
Well, in your quest for a state championship, if you think you're going to run through it never trailing, then you're probably kidding yourself. That doesn't happen very often. So see what the Canes are made of. Is there's a swing and a miss, and strike three ends the inning for Oconee County.
So Russ Smith goes down on strikes. That'll do it, but not before the Warriors get it done. Off 2 hits, 3 walks, they score 3 and leave 2. We move to the top half of the second inning. It's now Oconee 3, Cartersville nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week.
When you need Western wear, there's only one place to go, Boots and Britches. Western boots, English riding boots, even work boots. Boots and Britches has the largest footwear inventory around, including all the hot brands at great prices. We can outfit the entire family with a wide array of shirts, jeans, hats, belts, all the accessories you need to complete your look. Boots and Britches, Joe Frank Harris Parkway, Cartersville.
And welcome back to Richard Bell Field as we move to the top half of the second inning. Cartersville down 3-0 here in Game 2 of this best-of-3 series. They do, however, lead the series 1-0, and now they will face Chip Pledger again. Pledger up on the hill. We'll lead them off defensively. We'll run over the Oconee lineup quickly. Spencer Ellis is behind the plate. Kelson Looney is at first. Russ Smith at second. John Duke at short. Nick Stevens at third. Chase Stevens out in left field, Sam Porterfield in center, and out in right field for the visiting Warriors is Carl Delatorre. And now we go to the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Canes as Taylor Hightower, Seth Malton, and Benji Farr will come to the plate. Hightower steps in. We've made a Georgia reference and a Clemson reference. Now I'll make a Florida reference.
There you go.
He has an older brother that pitches for the Gators, although not having the best year this year, the Gators. They're actually last in the East right now. That ball swung on and fouled away, which is amazing to me how you can come back with 7 starters off a team that played for the national championship and then not make the SEC tournament the next year. I think they might be making some changes down in Gainesville in the coaching department, not at the head level, but some assistants, and that may make a difference. That one fouled away, make it 1-2 now to Hightower.
Baseball's a funny game, though. Sometimes, you get a couple bad breaks, things don't go your way 3 or 4 games. It can get out of control.
So Pledger now steps back up, and Pledger delivers. Swung on, that ball hit right over the head of the second baseman that time as it goes down for a base hit, and just like that, the Hurricanes have a base runner.
Just off the glove of Russ Smith at second base. I thought he had a beat on that the whole time and timed his jump perfectly, just couldn't squeeze it. Ball probably had some side spin on it. Jacob Wama's going to come in as a courtesy runner for Hightower. And that's the first Cartersville hit of the second game.
Matt Brown takes over as the home plate umpire here in Game 2. Ken Ferry moves to first base, and Tony Salgado goes to second. That pitch swung on, hit right up the middle. It's down for a base hit, and the Hurricanes will hold up runners at first and second with nobody out here in the top half of the second inning. So back-to-back hits right up the middle for the Canes. They've got a runner in scoring position now for Benji Farr, and the Canes are now one swing away from tying it up.
Hard hit ball by Malden up the middle. That time John Duke looked like he might be able to have a play on it, but he just couldn't quite glove. That's a tough ball. Hard hit, and you're really guessing as a middle infielder. A ball hit that hard where that hop's going to come when you're ranging to your left, and he guessed low and the ball went high, and it's a base hit.
Top of the second inning, 3-0 your score. Oconee County on top of this one. The pitch. And that time the Hurricanes will bunt right down the first base line, and they will move the runners over. So now 2 in scoring position with 1 out for the Canes, and that brings Will Davis to the plate.
So Benji Farr does his job, sacrifice bunter to go 3 unassisted. Good job by the base runners that time. That ball was popped up, and they both held and made sure they saw the ball on the ground before they advanced. If that ball had been caught by Looney in the air, he wouldn't have been able to double anyone off. Might have had to play at third if he'd have gone there immediately, but he elected to tag Farr, the safe play.
The pitch swung on and missed that time by Davis, 0-1. So Davis will step back in. Chip Pledger back up on the hill. We got a first base coach is out of the dugout and has been asked to return there for Oconee County. And so Pledger back up on the hill. Right-hander gets the sign and delivers. That one misses outside. Make it 1-1 now to Will Davis. And Davis was pretty quiet in game 1. May be due here in game 2. A 1-1 the count. Pledger back up on the hill. The right-hander again gets the sign and delivers. That ball swung on and popped out of play. It'll go the opposite way, but way into the crowd, and it goes to 1-2 now for Will Davis. A lot of baseball to be played here in game number 2. A 1-2 the count now as Davis steps in. Davis hitting from the left side of the box against Chip Pledger. Pledger on the hill. The right-hander checks his runners and delivers. That one high and inside. Make it now 2-2 to Davis. Davis gets aboard. Scotty Morrison would be due up next. And Davis steps back in. Again, runners in scoring position for the Canes. They've yet to play to run here in game 2, and now time is called. Davis steps out of the box. Didn't like the time that Pledger was taking. So Pledger heads back up on the hill. And Pledger's last appearance was on Saturday in a backup role. Came in a relief effort. The pitch swung on, and that ball fouled deep out of play. Still 2-2. Good at bat here for Davis. He protects the plate with 2 strikes.
Davis just missed that one. That was a fastball that normally he can do something with. He just barely missed it and fouled it off out of play.
So Davis steps back in, hitting from the right side of the box. And the 2-2 pitch on its way now. Way inside. Make it 3-2. I don't know what the Oconee faithful were yelling at. The ball was about 4 inches inside off the plate. Davis steps back in. Full count. And the wind blowing out here at Richard Bell Field. Pledger back up on the hill. The pitch. That one in there for called strike 3. Gets him looking, and Davis will go down on strikes. That brings Scotty Morrison to the plate.
Tough at bat right there for Davis. When runner at third, less than 2 outs, you really want to put the ball in play, especially here earlier in the game, the infield back like it is. Just put it in play somewhere and get that guy home from third.
Morris steps in now with 2 outs. He'll switch it and hit from the left side of the box. The pitch swung on, and that ball hit down the line at first. And they'll try to make the play, and they will. That one, it goes 3-1 on the putout, and that will do it. The Hurricanes threaten off 2 hits. They leave 2. We move to the bottom half of the 2nd inning, where it's now Oconee 3, Cartersville nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week.
What's the big news?
We just moved our banking business to United Community Bank.
And what a pleasure that was. They treated us like we were real people, not just a number.
We are so excited. We opened an ultimate free checking account and they gave us a gift.
When have you ever seen a bank do that?
That's the big news?
And we met with a financial advisor about an investment program for college. In 18 years.
Well, I'll be. Congratulations.
United Community Bank, the bank that service built.
U.S. Industrial Supply Company, a world of nuts and bolts, specializing in cutting tools such as Champion, Stelram, and Baylax, and pneumatic fittings, such as Legree and Cruzet. Call us for your cutting tools, fasteners, and pneumatic fitting needs at 770-382-6100 or 1-800-334-2755, located in Cartersville, Georgia.
And welcome back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week as we now move to the bottom half of the second inning. Sam Porterfield, Chase Stevens, and Nick Stevens will come to the plate as 9-1-2 will show up this inning for Oconee County. The pitch. That one outside, 1-0. So Porterfield looks down the third baseline, gets the sign, and now steps back in. Porterfield hit to the box, the pitch. That one misses outside, make it 2-0. Porterfield stepping back in, again hitting from the right side of the box, 2-0 the count, the pitch. That one misses outside, make it now 3-0.
Allen struggled with his control back in the first inning. He's off to another tough start here in the second.
The pitch. That one inside, and he walks him on 4 pitches. So, again, a tough start for the Canes as he walked the 9-hitter, and that's never good news.
Especially when it's on 4 straight pitches.
So Allen heads back up on the hill. The lefty gets the sign and delivers. That one in there for a called strike, make it 0-1.
Stevens walked and scored his first time. Scored the first run of the game. Came home on a wild pitch.
Pitch. That one in there for a called strike, make it 0-2. So Stevens steps back in. Allen back up on the hill. The left-hander again gets his sign from Hightower and quickly goes back to the bag at first, and the runner is safe. Will Davis actually had to come off the bag a little bit to make the catch. 0-2 the count. Allen on the hill, the pitch. Swung on, that ball hammered toward right field, but Parker Rutledge will go back and make the out. Fell down a little bit, scary situation there for a second, but that one goes F9, and it brings Nick Stevens to the plate.
Next up, number 1, Nick Stevens.
Stevens had a single his first time up through the left side. He also scored, and he was on a wild pitch as well. So 2 of the 3 runs have come home on wild pitches for Oconee County.
Stevens steps in, the pitch. That one misses inside, 1-0. So Stevens steps back in, hitting from the left side of the box. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and missed that time. Make it 1-1.
Good slider that time by Allen, and a lot of confidence. Throw it. You're behind in the count, 1-0. You've already had a lot of control problems early in this game. You're going to throw off speed down in the count.
Allen quickly back to the bag at first, where the runner is safe. 1-1 still. Again, if you're just joining us, you're picking up coverage of the 2006 AAA State Baseball Playoffs. We are in Game 2 of a best-of-3 series. The pitch. That one in there for a called strike. Make it 1-2 now to Nick Stevens. Again, we are in Game 2 of a best-of-3 series. Cartersville won Game 1 11-1. But trail here in Game 2 3-0 in the bottom of the second. They are the visiting team. The pitch. That one gets away, and the runner is going to move from first to second. And the Hurricanes now face a runner in scoring position for Nick Stevens.
3rd wild pitch already for Lyle Allen. That one really got away from him. Taylor Hightower had no chance to block that one.
Pitch. That one misses inside. Full count. A big pitch coming up here. Stevens steps in, hitting from the left side of the box. Allen back up on the hill. He gets the sign from Hightower, checks his runner at second, and delivers. Swung on, and that ball fouled out of play. It will remain full. Again, full count here, bottom half of the second inning. You're listening to coverage of the 2006 AAA State Baseball Playoffs. A little overcast behind the backstop, but clear skies out in center field, if that makes any sense. The pitch. That time he comes around. It's going to be a drop 3 strike. They'll have to throw him out, and they do. And the runner will stay put on second. So that goes as a strikeout with a 2-3 put out and is the second out of the inning. And that brings Dale Feldman, the DH, to the plate with a runner in scoring position. Feldman walked in his first plate appearance here in Game 2 and later scored. In Game 1, he was 0 for 2 with a walk.
Well, it's a nice job of battling back by Lyle Allen. You alluded to, Scott. He walked the leadoff man, who was the 9th hitter in the order, but he's come back to retire the first 2 hitters in the order, and now has a chance to get out of this inning without Oconee County scoring any runs.
So 2 down here, bottom half of the 2nd inning. A big at bat right here for Oconee County. Dale Feldman steps in. That ball swung and hit in the gap. It's down for a base hit. Parker Rutledge is going to come up throwing, and the Hurricanes will hold the runner at 3rd.
Tell you what, Scott, Parker Rutledge came up throwing to first base. He thought he could get Feldman at first, and if someone would have been covering, it might have been close. That ball was sharply hit to right, and I think Feldman was already making his turn, as you would on any base hit to the outfield, and didn't realize that Rutledge wasn't coming up gunning for the plate. He was coming up gunning for first base, but there's no one there covering.
So Feldman with a single puts runners in the corners, and the first pitch misses away. 1-0 now to Carl Delatorre.
Good news for Oconee County is you get a base hit and you have 2 runners on. The bad news is the runner, Porterfield, couldn't score from second on the base hit.
Hightower doing a good job of blocking the plate that time. 2-0 now the count. And again, Allen heads back up on the hill. Lyle again gets the sign from Hightower, checks his runner at first and delivers. That one in the dirt, make it 3-0. So Allen struggling here in game number 2. This looks a little tight on his delivery. And the balls are making it about 59 feet. The pitch. That one right down the pipe for a called strike, make it 3-1. So Delatorre steps back in. Allen back up on the hill. Lefty gets the sign and delivers. That one in the dirt, and he walks him. Now the bases are loaded. So the Hurricanes can play the easiest base.
A lot of base runners so far for Oconee County. That's their 8th runner here, and we're in the 2nd inning.
The pitch. That one misses inside, 1-0. Allen back up on the hill. The lefty gets the sign and delivers. Swung on, and that ball hit to the opposite field. It's going back toward the fence. It's down for a base hit. 1 run will score. Another is on the way. They're going to wave a 3rd runner, and it could be a 3 RBI double, and it is. So Delatorre drives in 3 runs, and Oconee County has grabbed a 6-0 lead here in game number 2.
Actually, Scott, that was Kelson Looney at the plate that time.
I'm sorry.
With the, as you said, 3 RBI double. That's what walks will do to you. Especially leadoff walks. Often come back to haunt you, and right now they have for the Hurricanes. That's a big hit in the right center field gap. That's just a good job of hitting that time by Looney. He got an off-speed pitch away, and he hit it away into the gap. Bounced off the wall for a 3-run double.
1-0 the count. That one misses low, and Duke steps back in now. The stretch and the pitch. That one misses low and away, make it 2-0. John Duke steps back in. Stretch and the pitch. That one in there for a called strike, make it 2-1. Lyle Allen back up on the hill, 2-1 the count. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, and that ball fouled to the opposite way. Still 2-2.
There's a saying in baseball, Scott, that hitting is contagious, and we're seeing that today. It's like all of a sudden that double by Looney, who has 2 hits already, next hitter's taking some good swings off Lyle Allen. John Duke, as you see, fouls that one off. He's dialed in a little more. It's confidence is what it is. One guy gets up there and has a sharp hit. You go up there now as a hitter saying, hey, I can hit this guy too. And Oconee County is really taking some better swings at Lyle Allen here in the 2nd inning. First inning is really a product of walks and wild pitches. This inning they've had some sharply hit balls. Feldman had a sharp single through the right side, and then Looney, as we talked about, hit that double off the wall.
2-2 the count, and Lyle Allen back up on the hill, doesn't like the ball. He's going to change that one out. Or he's getting the ump to rough it up for him. 2-2 the count. Allen back up on the hill. Stepping back in is John Duke. Allen checks his runner and delivers. That one in the dirt. Did he come around? And he did not. 2-2. So with 2 outs, the Canes had an opportunity to get out of the inning, but Oconee has added 3 more runs. We'll take a look at it, and
It's a good call.
yeah, good call. He kept the bat back, and now he walks him. So runners aboard on first and second, and Lyle Allen struggling here. And that brings Chip Pledger to the plate.
Sixth walk already issued by Allen, 3rd in this inning.
So Pledger will now step in, hitting from the right side of the box. The pitch. That one right down the pipe for a called strike, 0-1.
And 4 of the 6 walks have scored.
So Pledger steps back in, 0-1 the count. And again, Allen coming off the hill. The runner is safe at second. Allen didn't throw anywhere, 0-1 the count. Pledger steps back in, the pitch. That one, oh, not drop in for a strike, make it 1-1.
Must have stayed a little bit high.
Looked like a pretty good pitch from here, but maybe it didn't drop in, as you said. The pitch swung on and missed that time, make it now 1-2. Actually tipped it back into the glove of the catcher. 1-2 the count. Pledger steps back in. The pitch. That time misses outside, make it 2-2. Pledger steps back in, hitting from the right side of the box. And again, Allen back up on the hill. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, and that ball ripped in the gap at third. It's down for a base hit. Tate will come up throwing, and the runners will hold up with the bases loaded, and that brings Russ Smith to the plate. So now you've got the bases loaded, and Russ Smith now steps in. He's 0 for 1 here in game 2. Struck out swinging in the first. We'll see what he does here in this game.
Excuse me, Scott. I was going to say it's the 3rd time the bases loaded have been loaded for Oconee County in the game, and the 2nd time this inning. Last time they were Kelson Looney hit a bases clearing double.
Pitch swung on, and that ball hit toward right field, and camping underneath it out there will be Parker Rutledge, and that will do it, but not before the Warriors get it done. Off 3 hits, 2 walks, they score 3 and leave 3. We move to the top half of the 3rd inning. It's now Oconee County 6, Cartersville nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WYXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. And welcome back to Richard Bell Field as we move to the top half of the 3rd inning, and due up for Cartersville will be 9-1-2 as Cody Nix, Donovan Tate, and Lyle Allen will come to the plate. And Cartersville in desperate need of some offense right here, trailing at 6-0 in game number 2. As dominant as the Canes were in game 1, they found themselves in a hole here in game 2. So Nick steps in, hitting from the left side of the box. He'll be followed by Donovan Tate and Lyle Allen. Stretching the pitch. Swung on, that ball popped up, and on the run, calling everybody off out in left field and camping underneath it will be Chase Stevens. So it's 1 up, 1 down for the Canes here in the 3rd. And that brings Donovan Tate to the plate. Tate will step up, and again, the great thing about baseball is there is no time limit. You can always come back. New York Yankees last night proved that.
Sure did.
Pitch. That one outside, 1-0 to Donovan Tate. One thing the Canes have not been here in game 2 is patient at the plate. They need to slow down and just wait for a ball they can drive and see what they get. Stretching the pitch. That one in the dirt, make it 2-0 to Donovan Tate.
Well, this will be the 2nd time through the order for the Hurricanes against Chip Pledger. Let's see if they have any better success than the 1st time through.
Tate steps back in, the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, that ball popped up. And calling for it is Looney, and he'll make the out. 2 down. So that brings Lyle Allen to the plate. Allen steps back in. So Allen will hit from the left side of the box against Chip Pledger. The stretch in the pitch. That one outside, 1-0. Allen steps back in, 1-0 the count. Pledger back up on the hill. Righty gets the sign from Ellis and delivers. Swung on, that ball fouled off and out of play, make it 1-1.
Canes need some base runners, Scott. I was going to say, 2 quick outs here in the third. You don't want to make this third one that quick and let Oconee County get back in, get their offense going. They're really confident with the bats right now.
That ball swung on, hit right up the middle, and trying to get it out of his glove, but not in time. And field single for Lyle Allen. Good hit right up the middle that time. John Duke made a good stab at it, but just couldn't get up. Had to dive behind him and had to come almost 180 degrees with the turn to get up and throw it.
Yeah, to throw it Allen, he'd had to get up very quickly, and still made a nice play just to stop the ball. I didn't think he'd even make a throw, and his throw was pretty accurate from his knees.
Pitch to Gilreath. That ball swung on and hammered deep to center field, and that ball going back to the fence, no doubt about it. A 2-run shot for Tyler Gilreath, and the Hurricanes, with one swing of the bat, have made it a 4-run game. So what an effort offensively that time by the purple and gold as Tyler Gilreath takes the first pitch and hammers it over the center field fence. So finally, a little offense for the purple and gold. A 2-run shot for Gilreath, and just like that, the Hurricanes back in this one, and that brings Taylor Hightower to the plate.
Well, right on cue, Scott. The Hurricanes, I mean, this inning didn't look like it was very promising. The first 2 batters make outs, while all of a sudden Allen hits the single up the middle, and then Gilreath with a homer to center, and you're right back in the game.
That one low and away. They're going to appeal to first, and he did not come around, make it 1-0. So Hightower steps back in. Tell you what, some poor language coming from the guy right outside the press box. 2-0 the count.
He's just having a nice, friendly talk with the home plate umpire.
Yeah.
I think is one of his friends from a while back.
2-0 the count. The pitch. That one in the dirt. Make it now 3-0. Maybe the Hurricanes have rattled Pledger a little bit. He hasn't touched the strike zone since that hit by Gilreath, and Hightower will step back in with a 3-0 count. Pledger on the hill, and the right-hander delivers. That one high, and he walks him on 4 pitches. So Hightower is aboard, and that brings Seth Malden to the plate. Malden will step in, hitting from the right side of the box.
Jacob Womack going to come in as a courtesy runner for Hightower.
Again, anytime in high school baseball, your pitcher or catcher can get on base, you can bring in anybody to run for him as a courtesy runner. It is not an official substitution. It's just a courtesy. So again, Malden steps in, 1-0 the count. First one goes in the dirt. Malden steps back in, and Pledger with the pitch. Swung on, that ball hitting the infield. Coming on to make the play that time is Duke. He throws on to second in time. It goes 6-4, but not before the Hurricanes pick up 2 hits and a walk. They score 2 and leave 1. We move to the bottom half of the third inning. It's now Oconee County 6, Cartersville 2. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week.
Man, Ray, I'm loving this new boat. How'd you talk Leslie into it?
Oh, easy. She's getting that new deck she always wanted.
That worked out well.
Well, just took a little compromise and some help from United Community Bank.
When did you switch to United?
Oh, a couple months ago. Opened an ultimate free checking account and got an equity line of credit. Plus, they gave us a great thank you gift. They're the best.
Wow. Julie's been wanting to change banks, and she's been wanting a new deck. And I could get used to a new boat.
Check this out.
United Community Bank, the bank that service built.
And welcome back to Richard Bell Field, and the Canes have made the boots and britches call to the bullpen as they have brought in actually, I believe that is Chris Willingham that's going to come in and pitch now. And he comes in to throw. And had a good outing against LaGrange, worked an inning in that game. The stretch and the pitch. That one moves in high, 1-0. This is a good move by Coach Chester. What you do is you take Lyle out. If he obviously didn't have it today, and if he comes back, you can you have an opportunity to bring him in if you have to go tomorrow. And That way you don't.
Scott, help me with the substitution. Willingham's going to come in for Rutledge, and that will move. Lyle Allen will move to right field so he can stay in and hit. Is that how that works? Okay.
Swing and a miss that time. Make it 2-1 now. And the hitter that time is Porterfield, the 9-hitter. 2-1 pitch. That one misses outside. Make it 3-1. So again, Willingham getting his first action in a major game this year. 3-1 pitch. That one misses outside, and he walks him. So Canes start the third inning a lot like they did the second.
Well, it's like they started every inning this game with a leadoff walk. All 3 innings have started with a leadoff walk by the Hurricane pitching staff.
Now the top of the order coming to the plate as Chase Stevens steps in. 0-for-1 today with a walk. Scored a run in the first. Flew out to right in the second inning. The stretch and the pitch. That one in there for a call strike. 0-1. Good looking pitch that time by Willingham. He heads back up on the hill. Stevens steps back in, hitting from the left side of the box. 0-1 the count. Willingham back up on the hill. Stretch in the pitch. Swung on, and that ball hit to the opposite field, and Donovan Tate camps underneath it. First out is in the books here in inning number 3. That brings Nick Stevens to the plate. Stevens, another left-hander, will face Willingham. Wind blowing out here at Richard Bell Field in game 2 of this best-of-3 series. Still only the bottom of the third inning. We've got a lot of baseball to play still. 6-2 your score. Oconee on top of this one. The pitch. That one drops inside, but not in there for a strike. 1-0. So Nick Stevens steps back in. Runner aboard on first. 1-0 the count. Stevens steps back in. Willingham on the hill. The pitch. Swung on, and that ball hitting the gap at second, but Nix is there, fields it, throws on to first in time, and it goes 4-3, and what an effort defensively by Cody Nix to come across his body, get the ball, and then bring it back and get the out.
We've seen some good defensive plays today, but that by far is the best one. I thought that ball was into right field for a hit. Nix showed some great range to go over there, field that ball, and then throw on the run as you get a good look at it. Look at him throw off balance. Didn't set his feet. That's a great play.
Great play defensively by Cody Nix to get the second out of the inning. The stretch in the pitch by Willingham. That one drops in there for a called strike. 0-1. Willingham showing a little more confidence.
Not to mix up the fundamentals, you don't want to throw off balance if you can help it, but he had to because the runner was close to the base. What very accurate throw to be off balance like Nix was.
And that one misses outside, make it 1-1. And again, Willingham steps in there, throws a strike, make it 1-2.
Willingham's done a nice job. Obviously, tough spot coming into the state playoff game. You didn't think you'd be thrown in the fire in a game like this, and all of a sudden you're in there, you maybe walk that first guy, probably some adrenaline pumping, but since then he settled down as the pickoff throw to second is
And he got him. So great play defensively by the Canes at second base, and that'll get him out of the inning. And Oconee does threaten off a walk. They get him thrown out at second, and that'll do it. We move to the top of the fourth. It's Oconee 6, Cartersville 2. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. And welcome back to Richard Bell Field as we move to the top half of the fourth inning. Cartersville down 6-2 in this one, but they finally got out of an inning without allowing the Warriors any runs. And we take a look at that last out and the play. I don't have the greatest look at it here, but you can see Willingham coming off the bag and throwing right back to second, and Scotty Morris just getting the ball and getting in between the runner and the bag, and a great play defensively by the Canes, and that was the out. So
tough way to end the inning for Oconee County. You got a runner in scoring position, and Dale Feldman was up at the plate. He's hit the ball well today. Kind of took the bat out of his hand, getting picked off out there.
So stepping in now will be Benji Farr, and the Hurricanes will try to get something going offensively here in the fourth. Farr steps in, hitting from the right side of the box against Chip Pledger. The right-hander gets the sign and delivers. Swung on, and that ball ripped into left field. It's down for a base hit. Just like that, the Hurricanes have the leadoff man on as Farr will turn the corner at first, but he's going to hold up right there with a single. And the Canes have a base runner now for Will Davis. And that's the key to the Canes right now, just get guys on base, and sooner or later something good will happen. I'd like to thank our sponsors for today's game: North Metro Technical College, Century Bank, SportsMax, Slopes Barbecue, Matheson Glass, United Community Bank, Boots and Britches, Gilreath Carpet, Bartow Custom Collision, United States Industrial Supply, and Styles Collision Center. And again, local programming would not be possible without their support, so we thank each and every one of them for their loyalty to the programs here in Cartersville and Bartow County. I want to know the count to Will Davis as that one misses away. Pledger now throws back to first, and just a little toss over there. A lot of times when pitchers do that, it's just a little setup play. They'll smoke one over there in a second. Pledger back up on the hill, and the right-hander delivers. That ball swung on and popped up. They're going back for it, and it is out of play into the stands. Make it 1-1. Davis caught a break that time because they really popped that one up. Got underneath the ball a little too much.
I thought with the wind, when he initially hit that ball, I thought the wind might keep it in the park, but the ball had a little more spin on it than I thought, and it got out.
1-1 the count now for Will Davis. Again, Pledger back up on the hill. Right-hander gets the sign. The pitch. Swung on, that ball popped up, and that'll stay in the infield. Russ Smith going back for it, calling everybody off, and he camps underneath it. So that brings Scotty Morrison. Morris will step in, hitting this time from the left side of the box.
Batting the shortstop, number 5, Scotty Morris.
Morris steps in. Pledger back up on the hill. Right-hander gets the sign and delivers. That one misses high. 1-0 now to Scotty Morris. So Morris will step in. A runner on first and only one out here. We're in the top half of the fourth inning of game number 2. Canes trail at 6-2 on the Gilreath Carpet scoreboard. Pledger back up on the hill and Morris steps in. The pitch. That one in there for a called strike. Make it 1-1.
I'd like to see Scotty Morris hitting from the left side as a switch hitter. I mean, I think, Scott, today in baseball, so many young kids get wrapped up in the power numbers and wanting to hit home runs, and kind of becoming a lost art, switch hitting. Not many kids work on it. Good to see that Scotty still does. I mean, it gives you an advantage. I mean, you can flip around any time, and it's hard to be good from both sides, but Scotty Morris is a prime example. He's good both sides of the plate.
He switch hit against LaGrange and put one off the wall at Auburn 2 weeks ago, and that was when we started seeing this, and then was effective against Riverwood from the left side of the plate too. 1-1 the count. We'll see what he can do here against Pledger. Pledger gets the sign and delivers. That one in the dirt. It gets away, and Benji Farr will go to second, and the Hurricanes now have a runner in scoring position. So a hit here could change the dimensions of the game just a tad bit.
Yeah, we're still on top of the fourth. You don't have to get them all back at once. Hurricanes just want to chip away. That's what they began to do in the third with a 2-run homer from Tyler Gilreath. As you said, Scott, base hit here, and all of a sudden you cut that what was once a 6-0 lead in half at 6-3.
So Morris steps back in. The count 2-1. Pledger with the pitch. That one misses upstairs. Make it 3-1 now to Scotty Morris. Morris gets aboard. Cody Nix would be due up next. Again, only one out here. Top half of the fourth inning. Canes trying to get something on the board. 3-1 the count. Pledger back up on the hill, and time is called as Morris steps out of the box. Didn't like the time that Pledger was taking. Tell you what, if the Oconee pitchers worked as fast as the Cartersville pitchers, first game would have been an hour. That one in there for a called strike, make it 3-2 as Pledger just kisses the outside corner of the strike zone.
That was a nice pitch. Surprising pitch, 3-1. Really don't have much room for error there, and he dropped a curveball, as you said, Scott, right on that outside corner.
Full count now to Morris. Pledger back up on the hill, and the righty delivers. That one misses outside, and he walks him. So Morris is aboard, and the Hurricanes now have runners on first and second. And that brings Cody Nix to the plate. So Nix will step in with an RBI opportunity here with only one out. Again, this is the top half of the fourth inning for the Canes. They are the visiting team here in game number 2, and that's going to call for a conference from the dugout. This will be the first charged conference from the Oconee dugout. They're allowed 2 more, and then they have to make a change. And then I guess each visit after that, they'd have to make a change. Although I'll be honest with you, we say that every game. I've never actually seen it happen in 10 years of calling these games.
Yeah.
If you Coach comes out 3 times, nobody's staying in the game.
That's the truth. You're right. But Chip Pledger has done a good job for Oconee County here in this second game. He's done a good job of keeping the Hurricane hitters off balance. He's given up 5 hits thus far, as Cartersville is now tied Oconee County in the hit column, but Oconee County leads it where it counts on the scoreboard 6-2.
So Nick steps in, face Pledger. Pledger checks his runner at second and delivers. Swung on, and that ball fouled up and out of play. Nick steps back in, 0-1 the count.
Nick's just trying to turn it over to the top of the order. Just get on base any way you can and bring those big sticks to the plate with RBI opportunities.
0-1 the count. Time is called.
Actually called by the
catcher
that time.
A rare occurrence. And now Nick steps back in, 0-1 the count. Pledger back up on the hill, checks his runner at second. The pitch swung on, that ball hit to the opposite field. And it's going back toward the fence, and that ball at the wall. It's down for a base hit. They're going to wave 1 run home. Another is on the way. We could have a play at the plate. Morris is going to get low, and the Hurricanes grab a 2 RBI double from Cody Nix, and it's a 6-4 game here in the 4th.
Great job of hitting by Cody Nix. Got a fastball outside and just drove it to left field. That time, Chase Stevens, the left fielder, he didn't see the ball initially. I don't know if he could have gotten to it. He would have had to have a great jump to get to that ball, but I'll tell you, Scott, right now, this time of day at Richard Bell Field, you do not want to be in left field. Even at shortstop and third base, that sun is setting right into your eyes, and that's the toughest field by far, especially as you get late in the afternoon, early evening here, and even in the twilight. That's just a tough place. The sun, there's nothing for the sun to hide behind, and that time Stevens lost it, and the ball was almost to the fence by the time he realized he better start running after it.
So Donovan Tate will now step in, hitting from the right side of the box with the runner in scoring position, and time is called. And now we're going to have a,
see, as I said, the third baseman, he wants his glasses too. I'm telling you, it is tough to see at this park as the sun goes down on that side of the field. Stevens got some sunglasses in left, and now Nick Stevens has some at third base.
The pitch swung on, and that ball hammered into left field, and going back for it is the shortstop, John Duke, and he'll camp underneath it second out of the inning, and that brings Lyle Allen to the plate. So Allen with an opportunity to help his own cause right now against Pledger. So Allen will step in. He's 1 for 2 here in game number 2. A hit here would be huge for the Canes.
Canes have battled back very much in the game now. It's 6-4.
Allen steps in, hitting from the left side of the box with 2 down. Pledger back up on the hill, checks his runner at second and delivers. That one misses high and away. 1-0 to Lyle Allen.
Cody Nix bluffed to third like he was going to steal, but right now with 2 outs, there's no reason to try and attempt to steal third base. You're already in scoring position with a very good hitter at the plate.
Nix taking that lead off second. Allen steps in. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, and that ball hammered to center field. It's going back to the fence. That ball at the wall, but it's going to stay in the park. Just along the warning track goes Porterfield. And the Hurricanes come up short that time, but what a rip by Lyle Allen. But they do get it done here in the 4th. Off 2 hits, a walk, they leave 1. We move to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It's now Oconee 6, Cartersville 4 on the Gilreath Carpet scoreboard. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. And welcome back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. And I believe coming to the plate now for Oconee County, we will see 3, 4, and 5 as Feldman, Delatorre, and Kelson Looney will come to the plate. And Feldman steps in to lead things off. The pitch swung on, that ball hit to left field, going back toward the fence, and on the run and it's a solo shot over the left field fence for Dale Feldman. So a solo shot. He has now scored 3 runs today, and that makes the lead now 7-4.
Feldman's had some pretty good swings today, Scott, and that time, like I said back in the first game, you get a fly ball up here, and it's probably going to carry out. I don't really think that was a fly ball. He hit that ball pretty well. That's a home run with or without the wind. But with that wind, it had no chance of staying in the park. He got a fastball that was just belt high middle in, and to most 3-hitters, a fastball that spot, they're going to crush it.
The pitch. That one in there for a called strike. 0-1 to De La Torre.
Well, that was big for Oconee County. It looked like Cartersville had snatched the momentum of this game back and they got back into the game at 6-4, and Oconee County opens up the fourth with a home run to push their lead back out to 3 runs. Quite a change in emotions. You thought Lyle Allen had hit a ball out to tie the game, and it doesn't quite make it out, and Oconee County turns around, hits one that gets way out. Another 3-run lead.
A 1-1 now the count as that pitch misses outside. And De La Torre steps back in. We have a score from around the area. Woodland is trailing Marist. You see that? Was it 2-0? 2-0 in the bottom of the second. 3-1 the count. The pitch. That one in there for a called strike. Make it 3-2. That score courtesy of the Daily Tribune News. They're over there listening to the game in the other room and bringing us scores as they change. Full count. Pitch. Swing and a miss that time, and he goes down on strikes. So De La Torre is fanned here in the fourth, and that brings Kelson Looney to the plate. Looney 2 for 2 with a single and a double here. Singled in the first, doubled in the second.
Also has 4 RBIs, Scott, so he's had quite a day already. We're only in the bottom of the fourth. He takes the first pitch in there for a strike. Willingham snapped off a curveball right there. It's 0-1.
Stretching the pitch by Willingham. That one misses away. Misses high.
Yep, a little bit up.
1-1 the count. Willingham back up on the hill. Lefty gets the sign and delivers. That one high and away. 2-1. So Willingham heads back up on the hill. That one in there for a called strike, make it 2-2. Willingham back up on the hill, and the left-hander delivers. That one swung on and ripped into left field. It's down for a base hit. And now with 1 out, they've got a runner on first. So Kelson Looney is now 3 for 3 here in game 2. That brings John Duke to the plate.
That time Looney got a hanging breaking pitch and just good job of hitting. Stayed back, ripped it into left field for a base hit.
So John Duke now steps in. So Duke will step in. And that ball misses outside, make it 1-0. First pitch from Willingham.
Willingham came in, the Canes were down 6-2, so his job was just keep it close. Give your team a shot, and he's done that so far.
The pitch. That one. Oh, 2-0. Looked like that one dropped in, but I guess not. So John Duke steps back in. 2-0 the count. Willingham back up on the hill. Lefty again gets the sign and delivers. Swung on, and that ball hit down the first base line. And it's going to go foul, make it 2-1. Just been another couple inches to the left. It would have been 3 unassisted. But Duke now steps in to hit from the right side of the box. The wind dying down a little bit here at Richard Bell Field. 2-1 the count. Willingham back up on the hill, and the left-hander delivers. That one misses outside, make it now 3-1 to John Duke. Here we are in the bottom half of the fourth inning. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, and that ball hit to third off the chest of Gilreath. It goes into left field, and the runners will hold up at first and second.
Scott and I are debating or whether we give that a hit or an error. My thing there, that ball's a hard hit ball right at the third baseman. You're looking into a tough sun. Hits off your chest. I don't know. I mean it's
technically an error, but no.
I think you probably have to. You do have to give it an error. As hard as the ball was hit.
Yeah.
Here's another look at it.
Take a look, and that ball just hit right down the line, and
yep.
Bounced once. That's an error.
An error.
E5 the play. Swing and a miss that time. A 1-1. So Chip Pledger at the plate now. 1-1 the count. Willingham up on the hill. Runners aboard on first and second as Pledger steps in, hitting from the right side of the box. Willingham, the lefty, gets the sign from Hightower. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, and that ball tattooed into center field. The runners will hold up with the bases loaded with one out here in the bottom half of the fourth inning, and that brings Russ Smith to the plate.
Well, that ball was in the eyes of Pledger right now. Willingham's got to get that ball down. He's leaving his pitches up right now, and Oconee County just hammering it. Anytime you leave balls up, I don't care what level of baseball it is, you're going to pay. And right now, Willingham is paying.
Now batting number 4, Russ Smith.
The stretch and the pitch. That one drops in for a called strike, 0-1. So Russ Smith looks down the third base line, gets the sign, steps back in. 0-1 the count. Willingham back up on the hill. The lefty gets the sign from Hightower, checks his runner at second, and delivers. That one in there for a called strike, make it 0-2. Willingham back up on the hill. Checks the runner and now delivers. That one misses outside, make it 1-2. Willingham back up on the hill. Again, gets the sign from Hightower and delivers. That one misses outside, counts even at 2.
Big spot here in the game. Oconee County has a chance to really make that a big lead again. Cartersville down 3, bases loaded, trying to get out of this. Get back in.
I got the corners in. They'll be playing anything in the infield to the plate. That ball swung on, and we're going to go ahead, step on second, throw across the diamond. In time, and the Hurricanes turn 2. That time it goes 4 unassisted 3, and the Hurricanes turn 2 to get out of the inning. And what a play that was defensively, and Cartersville holds strong. It's 7-4 as we move to the top half of the 5th inning. Oconee County has the lead on the Gilreath Carpet scoreboard. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week.
U.S. Industrial Supply Company, a world of nuts and bolts, specializing in cutting tools such as Champion, Stelram, and Baylax, and pneumatic fittings, such as Legree and Cruzet. Call us for your cutting tools, fasteners, and pneumatic fitting needs at 770-382-6100 or 1-800-334-2755, located in Cartersville, Georgia.
And welcome back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week as we move to the top half of the 5th inning. Cartersville trailing at 7-4 here in Game 2 of this best-of-3 series. The Canes do lead the series, though, 1-0 after getting an 11-1 victory in 6 innings in Game number 1. But again, Kyle, it doesn't matter if you win by 1 run, 10 runs. This is where it's at right now for Cartersville.
Exactly. The big number, or the big score right now, obviously besides the score of this game, is 1-0, and that's the score of this series. And right now, Oconee County is 3 innings away from making it 1-1, and you know, setting up that winner-take-all Game 3, which you know you never want to be in if you're either team. Obviously, Oconee County would love to be in a Game 3 right now because that means they've got a chance to extend their season. Cartersville wants to end this series right here tonight.
So Tyler Gilreath steps in along with Taylor Hightower and Seth Malden. 3, 4, and 5 will come to the plate for Cartersville here in the top half of the 5th. The Canes are the visiting team in Game number 2, and that ball ripped down the first baseline, but just a tad bit foul. 0-1.
Barely missed a double right there.
Yeah. Gilreath went yard in his last at bat back in the 3rd inning. 2-run shot. Changed that the Canes were down 6-0 last time he came to the plate. And he hit one just deep over the center field fence. I mean, there was absolutely no doubt about it when it left the bat. The outfielder barely even turned because it wasn't coming back. Gilreath steps in. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, and that ball hit in the infield. Coming on to make the play this time is Looney. He'll field it, throw on to the pitcher. It goes 3-1. So 1 up, 1 down for the Canes here in the 5th, and that brings Taylor Hightower to the plate. Hightower steps in.
That was well played by Oconee County. Nice fundamentals. Good job by Kelson Looney at first base, flipping over to Pledger. So many times you see that play right there, a mix-up, especially in high school. It's good to see that play is executed like you're supposed to do. Oconee County well coached.
Hightower steps in, the pitch way inside, and he hits him right across the shoulders. So Hightower is aboard, hit by A pitch, and that brings Seth Malden to the plate.
Seen a lot of hit batsmen today, it seems like, in 2 games, Scott.
Yeah,
on
Benji
each
Farr
side.
hit his first. I don't think I've seen him hit a batter all year. And
Jacob Womack comes on again as a courtesy runner for Hightower.
again, anytime in high school baseball, when your pitcher or catcher get on base, you can bring in a courtesy runner. That would be anybody not in the starting lineup or not entered in at this point in the game. And it doesn't count as an official substitution. Just helps to get more guys in the game and help speed things up, especially when catchers get on base. You don't have to put the stuff on. A swing and a miss that time to Malden, 0-1. So Seth Malden steps back in. This is his second at bat today. Third at bat.
He's 1 for 2. He had reached base twice. He reached on a fielder's choice, and he has a single.
That pitch in there for a called strike, 0-2. It was way outside, but he just must have touched the corner. Good-looking breaking ball that time by Pledger. So Malden steps back in, 0-2 the count with 1 out. Top half of the 5th inning. Pledger with the pitch. Swung on, and good job of protecting the plate that time by Malden as he fouls it off, 0-2. So Pledger heads back up on the hill. The right-hander again gets the sign from Spencer Ellis, catching here in game 2. 0-2 the count. The stretch in the pitch. That one high and inside. Make it 1-2 now to Malden. Malden steps back in. The count 1-2. Womack taking a lead off first. Pledger back up on the hill. Only 1 out. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, and that ball hit into center field. Coming on the run is Porterfield, and he falls in and makes a diving catch in center field.
Great catch. Great camera work, too, right there, Scott. Good job on the camera. That's a great catch by Porterfield, and it showed. He caught it. You have to send that one in to ESPN, Scott. They put that one on. That's a great catch. Here's another look at it. As you see, Porterfield comes in. That's the toughest play to make. Ball coming in like that, and you got to dive. Get a nice look at it right there.
And a great play in center field by Porterfield as he comes away with the out. That one high and away now to Benji Farr, 1-0. So with 2 down, the Canes with a runner aboard, and Benji Farr steps in. Farr with an opportunity here to help his own cause. He's 1 for 2 here in game 2. The pitch. That one inside, 2-0.
Canes down to only 7 outs. They're down by 3 here in the 5th.
They throw him back to the bag at first where Womack is safe. 2-0 now, the count to Benji Farr.
Don't want to get in that situation if you have to go to a game 3 tomorrow. You get in a game 3, you have 1 bad inning on defense, and next thing you know, your season might end.
That pitch hit down the third baseline, but it's going to go foul. 2-1.
Now running number 21, Jacob Womack.
Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for today's game. On television, it's North Metro Technical College, SportsMax, Slopes Barbecue, Matheson Glass, United Community Bank, Boots and Britches, Gilreath Carpet, Bartow Custom Collision, Styles Collision Center, and United States Industrial Supply. That ball hit off the nub of the bat. They're on the run, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. Womack will hold up at second, and the Hurricanes now have a runner in scoring position for Will Davis. So good at bat that time by Benji Farr. And the Hurricanes have new life, and that brings Will Davis in. Again, Davis may be due here. He's 0 for 2 here in game 2. Not have a spectacular game 1 either. Yeah, 0 for 3 there. He was hit by a pitch.
Second hit of the day for Farr. Didn't get all of that, but it fell in. Base hit. 7th of the day for the Hurricanes.
Pledger back up on the hill. And the righty gets the sign from Spencer Ellis. Time is called. Davis steps back in. Davis has long ball power. He would represent the tying run if he could get a hold of one here. Pledger on the hill. Right-hander gets the sign and delivers. Swing and a miss that time.
He was trying to tie it up.
He just missed it on that one. So Davis steps back in. 0-1 the count. Again, Pledger back up on the hill. Davis steps out of the box. This time is called. So it could have been called by the pitcher that time. Davis steps back in. The 0-1 pitch. That one drops in for a called strike, make it 0-2. So Davis steps back in, 0-2 the count. Pledger back up on the hill. The righty checks his runner and delivers. Swung on, and that ball hit into left field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. They're going to send the runner. Womack will come home, and the Hurricanes will come away with an RBI single, and it's now a 2-run game, and that brings Scotty Morris to the plate. So Will Davis comes alive at the plate and gives the Hurricanes a little more life.
You said it, Scott. He might be due, and that was a big hit. Again, not the hardest hit ball you'll see, but it's effective. The Canes all of a sudden back to within 2 of Oconee County here in game.
You got another scoring run on second now. And that brings Scotty Morris to the plate. He'll hit from the left side of the box here. Drew a walk in his last at bat. Morris steps in to face Pledger. The right-hander again gets the sign from Ellis and delivers. That one way inside, 1-0. If Morris is to get aboard, Cody Nix would be due up next. Morris steps back in. Hitting from the left side of the box, 1-0 the count. Pledger back up on the hill. The right-hander gets the sign from Spencer Ellis and delivers. That ball misses outside, make it now 2-0 to Scotty Morris. Morris steps back in. He'll hit from the left side of the box, 2-0 the count. Morris hits from the left side of the box, 2-0. Pledger back up on the hill. The right-hander gets the sign. That ball swung on and fouled down, make it 2-1. And just ripped it off the left side of the plate. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for today's game: North Metro Technical College, SportsMax, Slopes Barbecue, Matheson Glass, United Community Bank, Boots and Britches, Bartow Custom Collision, Gilreath Carpet, United States Industrial Supply, and the Stiles Collision Center. Again, we thank them for their support of local athletics here in Cartersville and Bartow County. 2-1 pitch, misses outside, make it now 3-1. Runners aboard on first and second.
I was going to say, Scott, this might be the first time it looks like Pledger might be getting a little bit tired out there, laboring a bit here in this top of the fifth. He's made some good pitches. He's just had a little bit of bad luck. Balls have found the hole here in the fifth.
3-1 pitch. That one misses low and away, and he walks them. The bases are loaded now for Cody Nix. So the Hurricanes have loaded him up.
We have another visit by the Oconee.
This may do it for
staff.
Pledger. It looks like they may take the ball from him. We'll see. No, I think they're going to leave him in there. Doesn't look like he's still got the ball in his hands, so just talking it over on how to get Cody Nix out. Nix came up with a big hit earlier today. A 2 RBI double in the fourth. Now he'll just be asked to get on any way he can. If he reaches, somebody's coming home.
That's right.
7-5 your score. Here we are, top half of the fifth inning. This is game 2 of a best-of-3 series. Cartersville won game 1, 11-1 in 6 innings. And the Canes trailed by as many as 6-0 to be precise, after 2 innings of play. And they are the visiting team here in game 2, as custom in Georgia high school rules. Usually the home team is the home team in game 1, then the visiting team becomes the home team in game 2, and then you flip for it in game 3. Nick steps in. Pledger back up on the hill. And the right-hander gets the sign. That one in the dirt. Make it now 1-0. Cody Nix looks down the third base line. He gets the sign from Cartersville head coach Stuart Chester and steps back in.
Well, obviously here late in the game, top of the fifth, a 2-run game. This is one of the biggest plays of the game here, this at-bat to Cody Nix.
Stretching the pitch to Pledger. Swung on, and that ball hit down at second. They come on to make the play. Fielding it is Smith. Throws on to first and gets the out, and that'll do it. And Cartersville does strike here in the fifth. They get 1 run off 2 hits, 2 walks. They leave 3. We move to the bottom half of the fifth inning, where it's now Oconee County 7, Cartersville 5. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back. You're listening to WIXC AM 1270 and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. We move to the bottom half of the fifth inning. Chris Willingham still in the game defensively for the Canes. getting the call on the mound. He has done pretty well. He's worked 2 complete innings. He has given up only
the home
one
run.
Yeah.
That home run to Feldman, that's it.
Given up 3 hits, 1 run. He has walked 1, and he has struck out 1. So, not bad. Coming in as a younger guy, getting an opportunity to play here in a state playoff series. Porterfield will lead us off here as it'll be 9-1-2 the pitch. That one misses away, 1-0. I'd like to thank our radio sponsors for today's game: Harry Daniel Insurance, Taylor Farm Supply, Gilreath Carpet, H&H Realty, and Bartow Custom Collision. 1-0 the count. The pitch swung on. That ball popped up. Hightower running back toward the fence, but it'll go out of play. 1-1.
Canes had quite the opportunity last inning. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Couldn't quite cut into the lead anymore.
Swing and a miss that time. He fouls it down. 1-2 the count.
Well, so on that last play of the inning, too, was a great play by Oconee County first baseman Kelson Looney to dig the ball out of the dirt. Russ Smith made a nice play, but as he fielded the ball, he kind of went out into the outfield and lost his footing a bit and threw over to Looney, who made a nice scoop.
The pitch. And that one misses outside, make it 2-2. So Porterfield looks down the third baseline, steps back in. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss that time, and he goes down on strikes. Good looking pitch that time by Willingham.
First time the Canes have been able to get out Porterfield.
That's the first time today they have gotten the leadoff hitter out here in game 2.
That's right. You're right.
They have walked him 3 times, and in the 4th, Feldman went yard. We have an update in the top half of the 4th inning of game 2. It's Marist 3, Woodland nothing. So the Wildcats facing elimination today. Chase Stevens making his way in, 1-0 the count. The pitch swung on, and that ball hit. Nix grabs it, picks it up, throws on to first in time. It goes 4-3. Nice play that time by Cody Nix defensively. And again, he has really played well today here in game 2.
Yeah, had a big 2-run double earlier in the game off the wall and left, went opposite field, really showed some power to the off field.
Has had a couple big plays back and ended the bottom of the 3rd with a put out and got a second put out right there.
He's got a lot of range over there at second. He does a good job going to his left.
The stretch and the pitch now to Nick Stevens. That one low and away, 1-0. So Nick Stevens steps back in, hitting from the left side of the box, much like, I'm assuming they're brothers, Chase Stevens. They look alike, and they look alike as they play too, so assuming they got to be related somehow. Nick Stevens steps back in, hitting from the left side of the box. 2-0 pitch. That one in the dirt. Make it 3-0 now. Stevens ahead in the count. Steps back in, hitting for the left side. 7-5 your score. If you're just joining us, Oconee County on top of this one. We are in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Canes are the visiting team here in game 2. The pitch. That one in there for a called strike. Make it 3-1. Nice pitch that time by Chris Willingham. Willingham back up on the hill. 3-1 pitch. That one high and inside, and he walks him. So Willingham walks Nick Stevens.
Well, you wanted to be able to get Stevens out if you could without having to face Dale Feldman this inning. Feldman is 2 for 2. He's singled. He's homered. He's scored 3 runs. Walked his first at-bat. So the Canes haven't gotten him out, and they haven't kept him from scoring either.
The pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1. So Willingham back up on the hill. The sun's starting to go down here at Richard Bell Field. Willingham back up on the hill. The lefty gets the sign and delivers. Swung on, and that ball hit off the nub of the bat. They're going back in no man's land, but on the run comes Lyle Allen to tuck it away, and that will do it. The final out here in the 5th inning. They do threaten off a walk. They leave one. We move to the top half of the 6th, where it's still Oconee County 7, Cartersville 5. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WYXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this.
U.S. Industrial Supply Company, a world of nuts and bolts, specializing in cutting tools such as Champion, Stelram, and Baylax, and pneumatic fittings, such as Legree and Creuset. Call us for your cutting tools, fasteners, and pneumatic fitting needs at 770-382-6100 or 1-800-334-2755, located in Cartersville, Georgia.
And welcome back. You're listening to WIXC AM 1270. We move to the top half of the 6th inning, and Cartersville will try to get something going offensively. We'd like to thank our sponsors for today's game: North Metro Technical College, SportsMax, Slopes Barbecue, Matheson Glass, H&H Realty. They're one of our radio sponsors today. United Community Bank, Boots and Britches, Gilreath Carpet, also a radio sponsor today. Bartow Custom Collision, they're also a radio sponsor, along with Stiles Collision Center and United States Industrial Supply. We'd also like to thank Harry Daniel Insurance, Taylor Farm Supply, and I guess I already said Bartow Custom Collision. So thank you for all of our sponsors, both television and radio. Again, without your support, this would not be possible. And again, we thank you for all you do for the community. And again, if you don't patronize these businesses, at least go by and say thank you for the service they provide to Cartersville and Bartow County. Chip Pledger up on the hill. The right-hander now facing the top of the order as Donovan Tate will come up. The stretch of the pitch. That one misses outside. 1-0 to Donovan. Again, the Hurricanes bringing their top of the order to the plate. An opportunity to get something going here. Tate steps in, 1-0. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, and that ball hit down the line at third. It's in for a base hit. And just like that, Tate is aboard, and the Hurricanes have a base runner. Tying run will now come to the plate as Lyle Allen steps in to hit from the left side of the box.
Well, that's the start you needed if you're the Hurricanes.
Allen is 1 for 3 today, but he just missed tying this game up in the top half of the 4th inning when he hit a bomb to center field, and it is 375 feet from home plate to center field, and I bet that ball went 373.5. It just ducked in, and there he takes another one, hits that one deep to center field. It's going back toward the fence, and again puts it in the same place as it tucks in along the warning track, and that brings Tyler Gilreath to the plate. Gilreath is 1 for 3 today, left the park in the 3rd. We'll see what he can do right here against Chip Pledger.
Well, this is a big inning. I mean, this is the top of your order, and you're in the 6th, so you might not, if you can't get it done here, you might not get it back around to these guys in the top half of the order. So Hurricanes is important they can score right now.
The pitch. That one high and away to Gilreath, 1-0. Only one out here, top half of the 6th inning. Canes trailing at 7-5 here on the Gilreath Carpet scoreboard. Again, you're listening to coverage of round 2 of the 2006 AAA State Baseball Playoffs. The pitch. That one in there for a called strike, and that time Donovan Tate steals second, so the Hurricanes now have a runner in scoring position. So Tate with the stolen base.
Got to be absolutely sure that you can steal it. Down 2 like that. Down 1, understand you got to get in scoring position, but down 2, you got to be 100% sure you can make it. And Tate was, because he was well ahead of that throw. Got a great jump.
Got good speed as well. 1-1 the count. And the stretch and the pitch. Swung on, that ball hit down the line at 3rd. It's in for a base hit. They're going to hold the runners in the corners, and that brings Taylor Hightower to the plate with 1 out, and the Hurricanes are threatening.
Good job by Gilreath to go with a pitch through the left side for a hit. With 2 outs, I think Coach Chester probably sensed Tate, but with a hitter like Gilreath coming to the plate and only 1 out, no need to make an out at the plate. With 2 outs, you might chance it, but right now, leave that man at 3rd.
This is the 3rd trip to the hill for the dugout, and that's going to bring a close to the day for Chip Pledger, who got the start here in game number 2. And they're going to make the boots and britches call to the bullpen. Coming in to throw now will be Ray Cortez. We'll see him now, and he actually got the start against Gainesville the other day, so we'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week and listening to WIXC AM 1270. We'll be right back after the boots and britches call to the bullpen. And welcome back. You've just been watching the Boots and Britches call to the bullpen as we continue here in the top half of the 6th inning. Checking into the game now is Ray Cortez. He takes over for Chip Pledger. And Pledger, we look at the numbers on him. He worked 5 1/3 innings, faced 30 batters, gave up 10 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them were earned. Now, 2 of these base runners belong to him, so that the run total could change. Gave up 1 home run, had no balks. I don't believe he had a wild pitch, and hit a couple batters.
Actually, he did have 1 wild pitch, Scott, not to be picky, but he did on Benji Farr, so 1 wild pitch for Pledger. Pledger cannot lose the game. He can still win it, but he cannot lose it.
So stepping in now is Taylor Hightower with a runner on third. And Cortez on the hill, the pitch. Swung on, and that ball hit right up the middle. It's down for a hit. One run will come home. They're going to send a runner to third, and they're going to hold up with runners at the corners. They throw that one away, but the runner will hold up right there. And now it's a 7-6 game, and Seth Malden comes to the plate with 2 in scoring position. So now you've got the go-ahead run at second base, the tying run at third, and a new pitcher here in Ray Cortez.
Well, the first pitch Cortez throws ends up being a base hit for the Hurricanes. Another hit and run. That time Womack, then courtesy running that time, goes to second. And we're going to have another courtesy runner right here. Scott out at second base looks up for Hightower. But Womack was running in the shortstop. That time Duke went to cover the bag. And it was a grounder that normally would be right at the shortstop. But Duke was covering the second base bag and could not get it. And Donovan Tate scores. Good job of running by Womack coming all the way to third. And another good job of running that time by Hightower. He saw the throw was going to be over the head of the third baseman, Nick Stevens, and he slides into second, which is big. Fly ball ties it. Base hit might give Cartersville the lead right now.
So Seth Malden now steps in with 1 out, 2 in scoring position, and Cortez up on the hill. And the courtesy runner is Nick Ferguson. The pitch. That one misses outside. It gets away. A run's going to come home, and the Hurricanes have tied it on a wild pitch. We're deadlocked at 7. Oconee County is given back a 6-run lead here in game number 2. So a wild pitch scores the run, and we are now tied up at 7.
Yep, you can close your book on Pledger. He gave up 7 runs, and he will not factor in the decision today.
So Seth Malden now steps in. The go-ahead run is now just 90 feet away. Cortez steps in. The pitch swung on, and that ball popped up, hit deep to center field. We could have a tag. They're going to send Ferguson right now. They're going to hold him up.
Good throw by Porterfield. That was probably the right call by Coach Chester. Porterfield made a nice throw from center field.
And that sends Benji Farr to the plate.
Tough break for Malden. You thought when that ball first came off the bat, I thought it was going to be deep enough to bring the run home, but a very important run because that would have given Cartersville the lead, but not deep enough. So Benji Farr steps in. He's 2 for 3, 2 singles. He scored a run. Actually, he's 2 for 2. Excuse me.
He has an opportunity.
Sacrifice bunt.
And as I said, Kyle, an opportunity to give the Canes a lead right here. That one in there for a called strike. 0-1. So Farr steps out, looks down the third baseline, gets the sign from Cartersville head coach Stuart Chester, and now he steps back in. Farr back in the box, the 0-1 pitch. That one inside, make it 1-1. I don't normally sit in the stands, and I normally don't even pay attention to the fans, but every pitch that is thrown, they're screaming and yelling about the call. The pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 1-2. And these umps I've really got to say, have done a very good job today. The strike zones have been, they've missed a couple here, there, in there, but nothing that's affected the outcome of this game at all. 1-2 the count.
That was a nice curveball by Cortez. I can see where they brought him in the game. That was a nice hook.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss that time by Farr, and that'll do it. But the Hurricanes do get it done off 3 hits. They score 2 and leave 1. We move to the bottom half of the 6th inning, all tied up at 7. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this.
U.S. Industrial Supply Company, a world of nuts and bolts, specializing in cutting tools such as Champion, Stelram, and Baylax, and pneumatic fittings, such as Legree and Cruzet. Call us for your cutting tools, fasteners, and pneumatic fitting needs at 770-382-6100 or 1-800-334-2755, located in Cartersville, Georgia.
And welcome back. You're listening to WIXC AM 1270 and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. And we have gone to another Boots and Britches call to the bullpen. We won't have a break for this one, but Scotty Morris comes in to throw. He moves from short to pitcher. The only change in the lineup, Nick Ferguson enters in for Chris Willingham in the 5 spot, but they're DHing for that position anyway, so there'll be no effect to the hitting order. Cody Nix moves to short, Ferguson goes to second, and Scotty Morris comes in to throw, so that's the change defensively for the Hurricanes. We are tied up at 7 here, bottom half of the 6th inning, and due up here for the Warriors will be 4, 5, and 6 as De La Torre Kelson Looney and John Duke come to the plate. First pitch is in there for a called strike, 0-1. So again, De La Torre steps back in. The pitch, that one misses away, 1-1. The pitch, swung on and missed, 1-2. The stretch and the pitch, the 1-2, just misses outside, make it 2-2.
Wow, you said it, just missed. But probably a good call. Catcher set up outside, and Morris hit the mitt and just off the plate.
The stretch and the pitch by Morris. Swung on and missed, and he goes down on strikes. So great move by Coach Chester today. He got 3 strong innings out of Chris Willingham. And I'll tell you what, those were huge because, you know, when you're down 6-0, you don't want to throw in the towel, but on the other hand, you don't want to just roll over either. And that one misses away. 1-0 now to the new hitter, Kelson Looney. Looney has been awesome here in game 2. 3 for 3, a single, a double, and a single in the first, second, and fourth respectively. That one misses away, 2-0. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsors for today's game. North Metro Technical College, Sports Max, Slopes Barbecue. The pitch, that time he comes around, called strike, 2-1. So we continue to take a look at our sponsors. Slopes Barbecue, Sports Max, Matheson Glass, United Community Bank, Boots and Britches. That ball swung on and fouled away. It is now 2-2. Gilreath Carpet, Bartow Custom Collision, United States Industrial Supply, and the Styles Collision Center. Those are our television sponsors. We also like to thank our radio sponsors for today. That's Harry Daniel Insurance, Taylor Farm Supply, Gilreath Carpet, H&H Realty, and Bartow Custom Collision. Again, local programming would not be possible without their help. That's a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes. So Scotty Morris has fan 2 here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and that brings John Duke to the plate. And Duke will hit from the right side of the box with 2 down. Duke steps in, the pitch. That one misses outside, 1-0. Duke steps in, hitting from the right side of the box. 1-0 the count. The stretch and the pitch by Morris. That one in there for a called strike, make it 1-1.
Looking ahead, Scott, to the Cartersville 7th inning. They run their 7, 8, and 9 hitters up.
The pitch. That one misses outside, 2-1.
And if Morris can retire Duke, then Oconee County would send their 7, 8, and 9 hitters up in their half of the 7th.
The stretch and the pitch. That one just outside, 3-1. So Morris steps back in, and the right-hander delivers. That ball swung on and fouled down the third base line. That one just missed. Duke got a good hold of that one. Again, if you're just joining us, Cartersville won game 1 of this best-of-3 series, 11-1. And then spotted Oconee County 6 runs here in game number 2 through the 2nd inning. They scored 3 in the bottom of the 1st, 3 in the bottom of the 2nd. That made it 6-0. The Canes then rallied, making it 6-4. They scored 2 in the 3rd, 2 in, I believe, the 5th. That ball swung on, hit deep to center field. It's going back toward the fence. It's at the wall, and it's gone. A solo shot that time right over the center field fence for John Duke. And just like that, Oconee County has retaken the lead. It's now 8-7.
Talk about coming up big in a big-time spot. 2 outs, 2 strikes, no one on in the bottom of the 6th. Your team had been up 6-0. You're now tied 7-7, and you hit a home run. That was a well-hit ball. I mean, that's center field, and that's deep. And Duke has given his team the lead.
So Ray Cortez now comes up. He will hit in the 7th spot. The stretch of the pitch. And that one in there for a called strike, 0-1. That one in there for a called strike, 0-2. The pitch, that one swung on and fouled down. Oh, and 2 the count. The pitch. That one misses away, make it 1-2. 1-2 pitch. That one he comes around on. It's a drop 3 strike. They're going to have to throw him out. And they throw it down the line, and the runner is safe. So it goes down as a strikeout, but I guess it'll be E2.
Well, I don't know, Scott. I think that's a wild pitch. That ball was in the other batter's box.
Even though he swung on it? Or I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, that ball was way out. I don't think you can. That's tough on Hightower. And then the throw, I mean, unless you want to give him air on the throw, because, I mean, I know it pulled Davis off, but I think the runner already had it beat. That's tough to give an error.
Pitch. That one misses outside. A 1-0. So Scotty Morris back up on the hill. 1-0 the count. And he throws on back to the bag at first, where the runner is safe.
Here's another look at it. I think this ball's way out.
Yeah, he throws it, and he still swung on it. Had an easy out at the plate, and now a runner will go to second on another wild pitch.
So Morris comes in and struck out the 4 and 5 hitters quickly here in the top of the 6th. All of a sudden went 3-2 on John Duke, the 6 hitter. Duke then hit a home run. Then Cortez reached on a strike 3, that wild pitch.
That ball swung on, popped up in the infield. Cody Nix calls everybody off. He will camp underneath it at short, and that will do it, but they do get it done off one hit. And it was a long one, and that makes it now 8-7. Oconee has the lead as we head to the top half of the 7th. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. And welcome back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week as we now move to the top half of the 7th inning, and the Hurricanes are in desperate need of a run now as Will Davis, Scotty Morrison, Cody Nix will come to the plate. And Will Davis set to step in there. Coach Chester giving him some final instructions before he heads to the plate. I'll tell you what, Will Davis 1 for 3 here in game number 2, and never have they needed a hit from him like they do right now.
Yep. Got a big one his last time up in the 5th, but his job right now, base hit, walk, whatever, get on base. It's very important to get your leadoff man on, especially top of the last inning, you're down a run.
First pitch misses away, 1-0 now to Davis. Now he threw almost 6 innings against Gainesville on Saturday. So Cortez has thrown a lot of innings. The pitch, that one high and away, make it 2-0. And quite honestly, wasn't super effective when he came in last inning. I mean, got the job done and got out of there before any real damage was done. But it's now an 8-7 game. Oconee on top of this one, and he has an opportunity to pitch himself into another day. That one misses outside. 3-0 now to Davis. So Davis will get a hitter's count right here. Could he have the green light?
I would probably say he wouldn't have it just because you're down. A tie game, maybe, but I've been wrong before. We'll see.
3-0, and that one misses outside. He walks them on 4 pitches, and just like that, the Hurricanes have the tying run on board.
We'll never know, but I would say it's a safe bet that he did not have the green light. Now, this is interesting. Scotty Morris, we talk about him switch hitting earlier in the game against a right-handed pitcher. This time he's against a right-handed pitcher, but he's going to hit right-handed, which makes me think maybe he's going to bunt right here. Maybe he feels more comfortable bunting from the right side. Because you got to get that runner into scoring position right now.
The pitch. That one high and away, 1-0.
He did square to bunt. But the ball was way out of the strike zone.
So again, Morris steps back in, 1-0 the count. Again, top half of the 7th inning, Canes the visiting team. That one in the dirt, make it now 2-0 to Morris. And Cortez
hasn't thrown a strike this inning.
Yeah, is really struggling here to start the 7th. So Cortez heads back up on the hill. That draws a little conversation from Spencer Ellis, the catcher, as he goes up to talk things over and try to calm him down a little bit. Again, he did throw, I believe it was 6 innings. It might have been 6 1/3 he threw against Gainesville. And then they brought in Pledger, who finished up the game. Actually, he didn't throw that many. I think they brought somebody else in for a couple innings. And that time, they bunted just down, and they're going to throw on to first, and did get the out there. That time it goes 5-3 as it throws it across the diamond, but it does move the run into scoring position as Cody Nix will step up.
Actually going to be 5-4 on your put out that time. The second baseman came over as the first baseman was charging. So 5-4 in your book. But tying runs in scoring position, so Scotty Morrison did his job.
So Cody Nix now steps in. He is 1 for 2 with a double. He had a huge 2 RBI double back in the 4th inning, and he steps in here. The stretch and the pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1.
Cortez has a nice curveball. When he can get over for a strike, he's tough. That thing has a lot of movement on it. A good snap is one of those 12-6 curves they call. Doesn't have a whole lot of side break, but it really comes from the top.
Cortez with the pitch. That ball swung on and fouled away. 0-2 now to Cody Nix.
That time he tried to bust Nix in and was successful. All Cody could do was just foul it off. So smart pitching. Start him off with a curveball and come back in with a hard inside fastball. And now you're way ahead in the count of Cody Nix at 0-2. Cody just has to choke up right now and just fight anything off.
0-2 the count. Again, Cortez up on the hill. The right-hander checks his runner at second. The pitch swung on and missed, and Nix goes down on strikes, and that'll bring the top of the order to the plate with 2 outs. So the Hurricanes just need a hit right here from Donovan Tate.
Now batting the left fielder, number 20, Donovan Tate.
So Tate will step in. Canes trailing 8-7 here. We're in the top half of the 7th inning. If they want to extend this game, they need to come up with a hit right here. The pitch swung on, and that ball hit down the third base line, and they're going to call it foul. Boy, that would have been a huge...
Not by much.
Yeah, not by much.
Well, yeah, you're right. It would have been huge because, 1, it would have tied the game, and 2, to put Tate in scoring position for maybe that go-ahead run.
Third base ump called it foul as Tate steps back in. Will Davis, 180 feet away. He represents the tying run. Cortez up on the hill, and the right-hander delivers. That one way inside. A 1-1. Almost hit Tate that time. That would have brought Lyle Allen to the plate. So Tate steps back in. Cortez back up on the hill. 1-1 the count. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for today's game. North Metro Technical College. The pitch. That one in there for a called strike, 1-2. We'd also like to thank Sports Max, Slopes Barbecue, Matheson Glass, United Community Bank, Boots and Britches, Gilreath Carpet, Bartow Custom Collision, United States Industrial Supply, and the Stiles Collision Center. Our radio sponsors for today are Harry Daniel Insurance, Taylor Farm Supply, H&H Realty. The pitch. That one a swing and a miss. It's a drop 3 strike. They're going to have to throw him out. Tate running down the line and gets away. They're going to send the tying run to the plate on the error, and the Hurricanes have tied it up at 8. What an effort, and Tate's going to go all the way to third on the error, and the Hurricanes are in business. Now the go-ahead run sits just 90 feet away, and boy, have the dimensions of this one changed. It was a drop 3 strike. It's going to go E2 on Spencer Ellis, and just like that, the Hurricanes are right back in it.
Wow, that's tough for Oconee County. You get a strikeout. If the catcher can just block it up and throw him out, the game's over. But as it is, he throws it into right field, and Tate does a great job of hustling. And he's at third now. Lyle Allen has a chance to give the Canes the lead.
So Lyle Allen now steps in. We're all tied up at 8. Cortez has now got a hit to one of the hottest hitters in the state. The pitch. Swung on, and that ball hit right off the pitcher, and the go-ahead run's going to come home. Can he get it in time? It's not there. The ball gets away, and the Hurricanes have grabbed a 9-8 lead. What an effort by Cartersville offensively here in what is the top of the 7th. They have grabbed a 9-8 lead on Oconee County, and now you're going to see Tyler Gilreath, and Ty G steps in with an opportunity to put another dent in Oconee County and extend this inning a little bit further.
That's a single for Allen and give him an RBI. Tate will score. That'll be unearned. And as you said, Gilreath the chance to add to it, give Cartersville some insurance now. So you're right. What a turn of events. Strike 3, game could have been over. Cartersville ends up scoring 2 runs.
Swing and a miss that time, 0-1. This is why it's called baseball. Weirder things have happened, but unbelievable. Just when you thought Oconee County was going to close the door and walk into tomorrow, the Hurricanes have grabbed the lead 9-8. That is their first of the game. A 9-8 lead here in the top of the 7th. Gilreath steps in. That pitch misses low and away, 1-1. And now Gilreath can swing freely here, knowing his team's got the lead, not as much pressure. And this is honestly where he is most dangerous, where he can just free swing and take a look at what you throw him. 1-1 the count. 2 down here, top of the 7th, 9-8 your score. The pitch swung on, that ball ripped into right field. It's down for a base hit. The Hurricanes are going to send Allen to third, and now with runners in the corners, they're going to bring Hightower to the plate. So a single for Gilreath. The Hurricanes can look for insurance now here in what is the top of the 7th in Game 2. Cartersville already won Game 1 11-1, and they're looking to close the door now and add to it here. A 9-8 advantage for Cartersville in what should have been the last out of the inning. All these runs here will be unearned.
Now batting is the catcher, number 13, Taylor.
So 2 unearned runs here in the top of the 7th have given the Hurricanes the lead. And Oconee County, who were on their feet just seconds ago, thinking they had closed the door on this game. A very quiet crowd on the far side of the field. That one misses high and away, 1-0. And a tough day for Ray Cortez up on the hill.
Yeah, not really Cortez's fault. He did his job. He got the strike 3. It would have been the 3rd out. Just tough play for Spencer Ellis trying to block it up, and he just couldn't quite throw out Tate.
1-0 pitch in the dirt, make it now 2-0 to Hightower. Again, if Hightower gets on, Seth Malden would be due up next. They appealed down the first base line, and the hitter Hightower did not go. 2-0 the count. Cortez up there on the hill. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, and that ball hammered towards center field. It's going back to the fence, but it will stay in the park, and Porterfield will camp underneath it, and that'll do it. But the Hurricanes get 2 unearned runs here in the 7th. We move to the bottom half of the inning. Cartersville leading it 9-8, and they'll look for 3. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to WYXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week.
U.S. Industrial Supply Company, a world of nuts and bolts, specializing in cutting tools such as Champion, Stelram, and Baylax, and pneumatic fittings, such as Legree and Cruzet. Call us for your cutting tools, fasteners, and pneumatic fitting needs at 770-382-6100 or 1-800-334-2755, located in Cartersville, Georgia.
And welcome back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. Sam Porterfield, Chase Stevens, and Nick Stevens will come to the plate for Oconee County. They now trail at 9-8 here in the bottom half of the 7th of Game 2 of this best-of-3 series. Actually, we're going to have a Russ Calloway. Actually, never mind. Sam Porterfield's going to come in. Porterfield steps in, hitting from the right side of the box. The stretch and the pitch. That one misses outside, 1-0. So Morris back up on the hill. The right-hander again gets the sign from Hightower. The pitch. Swing and a miss that time, 1-1 to Porterfield. I don't know how many pitches Benji Farr threw, but he was pretty effective in his game. You could always ask him for an out, too, if you need 1-1 the count. That ball swung on, hit right back to the pitcher. He grabs it. It's going to go 1-3, and the Hurricanes are now 2 outs away.
If this was a Game 3 situation, you might think about that, but I would think here in Game 2, you got a 1-run lead. Morris has done pretty well. I mean, they've had one good swing on him. Trying to see if Scotty could get it out, but I like the way you think, Scott. You're always thinking. I give you credit for that.
The pitch swung on, and that ball hit right to short, and Cody Nix puts it in his pocket, 2 down. What a play defensively that time by Cody Nix, who comes off the mark there and tucks it away. And now Nick Stevens will come to the plate, and the Oconee season now rests on his shoulders. Facing senior reliever Scotty Morris. We'll see what he can do right here. 2 down. Bottom half of the 7th inning. The Hurricanes looking for their final out. The pitch. That one right down the pipe for a called strike. Make it 0-1. Stevens steps back in. Hitting from the left side of the box. Morris back up on the hill. And the righty delivers. That one in there for called strike 2.
got to be swinging here if you're Stevens. I mean, your season's on your shoulders. If it's close, you got to hack.
0-2 now to Nick Stevens, the stretch and the pitch. That one misses away, 1-2. 9-8 your score. Cartersville on top of this one. We're in the bottom half of the 7th. Oconee County, the visiting team here in Game 2. Canes lead the series 1-0. The pitch. That one in there for called strike 3. He gets them looking, and that'll do it. Oconee County goes down in 2. The Hurricanes walk away with a victory here in the second round of the state playoffs. They have punched their ticket to the state quarterfinals for the 8th consecutive season, and that sets up a possible rematch with defending state champion Columbus and a chance for the Hurricanes to get it back on track again next Tuesday, as they'll host, most likely the Blue Devils will be the winner of that Perry-Columbus series, and we'll hopefully have an update on that one shortly. But the Hurricanes win this one 9-8 in impressive fashion, and again, a tough loss for Oconee County. You got to tip their hat. They came out swinging here in game number 2 in a very impressive showing after getting beat 11-1 in game number 1, and Cartersville really comes back and steals game 2 from them here in the top of the 7th. And a tough loss for Oconee County, and Cartersville punches their ticket into the state quarterfinals again for the 8th consecutive season. We'll take a quick break and come back after we break it all down here from Richard Bell Field. You've been listening to WIXC and watching the Workhorse Productions High School Baseball Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this.
Came in and faced.
And welcome back. You're listening to WIXC and watching the High School Baseball Game of the Week. And there you have the final 9-8 as Cartersville walks away with a victory here in game number 2. And Kyle, I mean, just impressive. I mean, they never quit, kept hustling. I guess, you tell kids from the time they're in Little League, you never stop hustling. And I guess they proved that tonight when, in a drop 3 strike, you get an opportunity to win a game.
Yeah, you always run it out because you never know you're right. And that ended up really winning the game for Cartersville. That game, I mean, we talk about a roller coaster ride. Oconee County jumps out to a huge lead. Cartersville comes back, ties it up. Oconee takes the lead again. Canes come back, tie it up, then go ahead. And really tough way for Oconee County to end their season. You get to look at the Warriors right there. I mean, they battle back in game 2. They have an 8-7 lead with 2 outs in the 7th. They strike out the hitter at the plate, which would be the 3rd out, but the ball's in the dirt, got away from the catcher, and the catcher did all he could to throw out Donovan Tate at first, but the throw got away from him just a little bit and went out of the outfield, and the Hurricanes tied it and went on to win. And I can't think of a worse way for a season to end where you're so close to a win. Those are the toughest losses to take. You just have victory. You just can taste it. You're so close, and all of a sudden it's snatched out from under you and you lose. And not only you lose the game, your season ends. So tough way to end your season for Oconee County, but your hats off to them. Like you said, they fought hard. They lost by 10 runs in the first game, and you thought, well, maybe they just kind of roll over here in game 2, but they gave Cartersville all they wanted and then some, and really had the Hurricanes beat there in the second game. It just was not to be, and Cartersville escapes with a 2-0 sweep.
And there you have it, the final 9-8 in a full 7 innings here in game number 2. And with the victory, Cartersville sweeps the series, and now they advance on to the state quarterfinals. This will be the 8th consecutive season that Cartersville is in the state quarterfinals. Most likely, we're looking at a rematch with Columbus again, and that was what we'll probably have for you next Tuesday. The Blue Devils taking on Perry today. Of course, the Devils were the champions of Region 2. The two teams met in the quarterfinals last year and went 3 games. Cartersville had a 8-3 lead in the 8th inning and ended up losing a heartbreaker 14-9. And maybe a little revenge on their minds. We'll talk about that series in a second. Before that, let's read some of the final numbers. Getting the win for the Hurricanes today is Scotty Morris. Worked 2 innings, faced 8 batters, 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned. He had no walks, 4 strikeouts, gave up 1 home run, had 1 wild pitch. Chris Willingham in a relief effort went 3 innings, faced 13 batters, gave up 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He had 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, gave up 1 home run. Lyle Allen worked 2 innings, faced 17 batters, gave up 5 hits, 6 runs. They were all earned. He had 6 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 wild pitches. And taking the loss on the other side for Oconee County was Ray Cortez. He went 1 2/3, faced 10 batters, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs. Neither one was earned. He had a walk and 3 strikeouts. In an earlier appearance, Chip Pledger went 5 1/3, faced 30 batters, gave up 10 hits, 7 runs. 6 of them were earned. He had 4 walks and 1 strikeout. Also gave up a home run. Had 1 wild pitch and hit 2 batters. At the plate for Oconee County, Chase Stevens was 0 for 4 with a walk. Nick Stevens 1 for 4 with a walk. Dale Feldman was 2 for 3 with a home run and a walk. Carl Delatorre went 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Nelson Looney was 3 for 4 with a double. He had 4 RBI here in game number 2. John Duke was 1 for 3 with a home run, reached base on an error, also had a walk. Chip Pledger was 2 for 3. Ray Cortez went 0 for 1 but reached base on an error. Russ Smith was 0 for 4, and Sam Porterfield was 0 for 2 with 2 walks in the loss. For Cartersville, Donovan Tate was 1 for 4, reached base on an error. Lyle Allen was 2 for 5, had an RBI. Tyler Gilreath went 3 for 5 with a home run, his 12th of the season. He also had 2 RBI. Taylor Hightower was 2 for 3 with a walk. He was also hit by a pitch. He had an RBI. Seth Malden was 1 for 4. Benji Farr went 2 for 4. Will Davis was 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. Scotty Morris went 0 for 2 with 2 walks. And Cody Nix was 1 for 4 with a double and 2 RBI in the Hurricane victory. With the win, the Canes now improved to 25-5 on the year, and Oconee County season comes to an end with an overall record of 24-7. And now Cartersville with an opportunity to meet up with Columbus again in the state quarterfinals, a rematch of last year's game, which turned out to really be the state championship.
Yes, guys, a great series last year. It went 3 games. And Cartersville got that win in the first game, then Columbus came back and battled back and really used that as a springboard to go on and win the state championship. And you hate that these teams have to play in the quarterfinals, but the brackets are drawn up well before the season starts, and that's just the way it works out sometimes. And when you get to the final 8 in the state playoffs, you're going to have usually nothing but number 1 seeds left, and that looks to be the case if Columbus is able to win their series. The Hurricanes would have them right here at Richard Bell Field, though, which is always an advantage, and should be another good one just like last year.
And there you have the final 9-8 and 7 innings here in game number 2 as Cartersville sweeps the series in 2 games, and now the rematch with Columbus. I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's game. On the radio, Harry Daniel Insurance, Taylor Farm Supply, Gilreath Carpet, H&H Realty, and Bartow Custom Collision. Our sponsors on television are North Metro Technical College, SportsMax, Slopes Barbecue, Matheson Glass, United Community Bank, Boots and Britches, Stiles Collision Center, United States Industrial Supply, Gilreath Carpet, and Bartow Custom Collision. And again, we thank all of our sponsors for today's game because without their support, this effort would not be possible. Again, I also like to thank the crew for tonight's game. Directing things back, as always, was Jason Woodside. Down the first base camera was Cheryl Kennedy. Out in the outfield was Brett Ward. And handling the up-top overhead shot tonight was Dusty Taff. I'm Scott Singer along with Kyle Tucker saying goodnight from Richard Bell Field. We'll see you again next Tuesday when the Hurricanes lace it up against the winner of Columbus and Perry. We'll see you then.